Hey guys, my name's John, and I make videos about Genshin Impact. Today's video is about weapon basics, focusing on the difference between the three main types. Now you might be saying, what do you mean 3? There are definitely 5, but just stay tuned and I promise it'll make sense. We'll start with bows. Bow-wielding characters in Genshin Impact will automatically target the nearest enemy, and the projectiles they fire follow basic physics. When pressing the attack button rapidly, this particular character will perform a series of 6 unique attacks in order. As long as the attack button is pressed at any point while the character is attacking, they will automatically perform the next attack in the sequence when the animation for the current attack is finished. The exception to this is when the character is performing the final attack in the sequence. In this case, to attack again, the player must press the attack button after the final attack animation is finished. After every attack, there is a small window of about half a second where the character will pause and wait for another attack input. If they don't get one, they go back to the default idle pose and the attack sequence resets. If we break it down by frame, you can see the moment I press the attack button and the moment he starts to turn into the idle pose, and the difference is a full second. Bow-wielding characters can also make aimed shots by either holding down the attack button or pressing a different button that toggles aiming mode on and off. If the player is holding the attack button, a shot will fire when they release it and they will exit aiming mode. If aiming mode is toggled on, shots will automatically charge and will fire when the attack button is pressed. This mode fixes the camera behind the character. Their shots no longer auto-target enemies, but there is a crosshair. The character also has reduced move speed, and jumping or sprinting will force this mode to end. Next up, melee weapons. And this is where I'm probably going to get some pushback, but I maintain that polearms, claymores, and swords all follow the same general rules and are therefore the same type of weapon for the purposes of analyzing their mechanics. The main differences between bow characters and melee characters, besides their range, are that the slashes from melee characters can hit multiple targets at once, and they move a lot further during their attack sequence. This is because most of the individual attacks include a large forward lunge instead of the small step back. If the player doesn't specify a direction while attacking, the character will lunge toward the nearest enemy. If the attack button is being held down when they enter this transition state, melee characters will perform a charged attack. Charged attacks have a slight wind-up time and cost stamina, but have increased damage and range. Charged attacks can be used at any point during an attack sequence, but they are similar to a final attack in that another attack cannot be queued during that animation. Now it's time to talk about catalysts, which combine rules from the previous 2 weapon types and also throw half of them out the window. Like bow users, their projectiles auto-target the nearest enemy, but they have no bullet drop and will follow enemies if they move, or they will summon bursts of elemental energy on the nearest target. Their attack sequences are typically short and involve very little movement. The short sequence means more time locked in the final attack animation, leaving less time spent attacking overall. A charged attack with a catalyst is similar to a melee character, except the initial normal attack isn't required. Briefly holding down the attack button will start a long wind-up before the attack is released. Unlike other weapon types, there are some catalyst users capable of chaining a charged attack after the final attack in their normal sequence, but this is not usually optimal gameplay because of how long you'll spend stuck in animations. And that's all we can really say about catalysts from an overview perspective, because they vary so much between individual characters. In fact, every weapon type has exceptions to their own rules, and we'll be getting into that more in later videos. But I'd like to wrap this video up by talking about one combat mechanic that is essential to every character's kit in Genshin Impact. Every character is capable of canceling attack animations with a dash or a jump, and in certain cases, this becomes part of a character's playstyle. If a character has low mobility, or the final attack of their sequence prevents them from attacking for a long time afterward, they can dash to cancel the animation early and quickly reset the attack sequence. You're going to see that as a reoccurring theme in these videos, especially in the next video about claymores. The most valuable information from this analysis is the timing of player inputs during the attack sequence. The system isn't just locking the character into a combo based on how many times the attack button was pressed. The sequence can stop at any point because attacks are queued one at a time with the transition states in between. On top of that, dashing or jumping can interrupt attack animations and reset the attack sequence. And I think this makes for interesting game mechanics. If you find this video interesting, drop a like and leave a comment about what video you think I should make next.